Hello, Mr. Leno. This is my first car story. My car is a black, obviously, Mercedes-Benz 300 SDL Turbo. I've always liked this particular shape of vehicle since as far back as I can remember. And I think the reason I have an affinity for 80s cars in particular is because I kind of grew up with them. I'm a 90s kid, and people still drove a lot of 80s cars back in the day, so this car I guess kind of reminds me of my childhood. So yeah, my first car story basically goes like this. I was 13 years old and I was at a Thanksgiving get-together thing, and I noticed this car a little ways down the street. It's a private back road type of street. No traffic, only a couple of houses. And I asked the hostess, "Hey, do you know who owns the car?" And she said, "I don't actually, I'll ask around." A little later, the owner of the car walked up to me, and she said, "Hey, I heard you were asking about my car. My name is so-and-so." And the next thing out of her mouth was, "Would you like to drive it?" And I was completely blown away because I'd never been asked a question like that before. And of course I said yes. And we took the car for a drive a little later. It was a dark, stormy night, and I'll never really forget it because I had a great time, you know, being a car enthusiast and everything. I sort of took it in my stride, and I really enjoyed myself. And I really didn't want the drive to end, but it had to end at some point, so yeah. And so in the intervening years, that, by the way, was the very first time I'd ever driven a car in my life. It was this exact car that I drove. That was the first time I'd driven a car ever. In the intervening years, I got to drive the car a couple more times, and when I turned 16, the previous owner actually gave me the car, but of course there was a catch, and the catch was that she just couldn't really afford to have this car anymore because she lived in Brooklyn, and unfortunately, after I'd seen the car when I was 13, and then in the intervening years, it got little by little started to get damaged. Like the bumpers are all scratched up and messed up, the grill's busted, the hood ornament got ripped off, and you know, stuff like that. Cities just destroy cars, basically. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to do anything to this car because I saved up some money. Whoops, wrong way. I saved up some money to fix the car, but I just, ooh, fuck, it's hot in here. 150,000 miles on it. It's in pretty good condition. It's a bit dirty right now, but besides the dirt, except for the dirt, it's actually in very good shape. And I miss this car. Someday I imagine looking down that long-ass hood and driving it again, but I just don't have the time, nor the money, nor the technical expertise, or the space, because I mean, look at where I live. No garages, nothing, so it's not like I can just work on my car. And we got a letter not too long ago from the housing people basically forbidding people from working on their cars. Minor repairs, nothing. You can't do anything in this neighborhood, which sucks balls, because if I had the means, I would just dig into this car and fix it myself and just get it the fuck over with, but I can't. So until I get going on my career or get another crappy dead-end job, I'm kind of stuck. And I don't want to let this car go. I can't let this car go because, I mean, this is my first car. My name's on the paperwork. This is the first car I've ever driven in my life, and you know, I just, being a car enthusiast, I feel that cars all have a personality. They all have some kind of soul. And yeah, it's not a happy ending, and one day, baby, one day. All right, Mr. Leno, that's my first car story, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I don't know, say thanks or whatever you feel like. I noticed that a bunch of the replies were basically just vlog type stuff, or people putting videos up that they already had up on their channels, and I thought they were a little I thought they weren't exactly what you were looking for. They weren't quite what you asked for, but I hope my video filled that a little bit more. This phone is not original. It's a retrofit. I actually looked it up. And the Centel by Motorola. It's a 90s phone. This car was retrofitted with that phone at some point in the 90s. And for some reason you cannot lock this door. You can lock all the other doors from the inside, but you can't lock the driver's door from the inside for some reason. You have to use the key. So she's dirty, but it's like there's no real point in washing it unless I'm driving it, and I'm not driving it. Haven't driven it in years. Battery's dead as a doornail, runs like a bag of bolts, and the transmission won't shift out of first gear. I'm pretty sure I know what the transmission issue is. It's probably the kickdown switch under the gas pedal that's stuck. But yeah, the car needs a little body work. I wanted to keep it as original as I possibly could, but there's like dings and scratches and chips of paint, and then of course I got this great big dinger right there. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to get out, but yeah, so there she be, 1987. I was looking at the paperwork, and the car was actually purchased December 31st, 1986. So this is actually an 86, but it's billed as an 87 model year. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the video. Later.